Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from the Black Business School. I am in Los Angeles right now. This is not part of the tour. As you know, the Black Economic Empowerment Tour. We just went to Kansas City. I'm in LA because we're actually shooting a film pilot that I think has a chance of being picked up. So I'm out here for a short business meeting. Then I got to fly back east to go to Baltimore, which is the next city on our tour. And then after Baltimore, we got Philly and Houston and New Orleans and a couple other cities. New York is, I think, in early June. Vegas, Las Vegas is around June 4th or 5th, one of those 2 days. Anyway, you can find out more at the drboycewatkinstour.com if you want to, see where we're going to be and check us out. Now, here's a thought I just had. Now, as you guys know, I share what's on my heart and on my mind. And as I was sitting here in my rental car, which is actually kind of raggedy, by the way, I just grabbed the first one I saw, and I probably shouldn't have did that. Anyway, I was sitting in the car and I was thinking about, this on the plane, and I wanted to share it before I left my brain. I was thinking about athletes, right? I was thinking about the fact that black athletes for the last, 30, 40 years have been connected to, or maybe inadvertently, the lead commodity in one of the greatest wealth transfers out of the black community that one can imagine. But there are a few systems in place where people make money off of us and we don't make money from our ability. The three systems that come to mind are the educational system, where you got all these urban schools full of black kids with white administrators running these schools and making money from these schools with curricula, selling curricula and all this other stuff. The prison system, millions of white people make a ton of money off putting black people in prison. That is the new slavery. It's exactly like slavery. It's not just like slavery. It's exactly like slavery, because slavery has not been abolished in the United States. The Constitution says slavery is legal if they can find a way to convict you of a felony, and it just so happens that most of the people that they convict are disproportionately African Americans. The third area is sports. The NCAA robs you blind. The NCAA takes over $1 billion a year out of the black community. It's not a coincidence that the coaches are mostly white, the people making money are mostly white, and the people doing the labor are mostly black. Again, that's social engineering, that's political design. The reason they haven't come up with a political remedy is because they don't give a shit about black people. Let's just be clear about that. Now, professional sports. Here's what's interesting about that. Now, I heard you recently heard Minister Farrakhan really elaborate on how the NFL combines are a lot like slave auctions. They run up and feel the black man on his butt to see how strong he is, and they say, "Look at that nigga jump. Look at that nigga run. Look at how strong that nigga is." And it's very slave auctionist, and it's unfortunate because these guys get used up and spit out. They're in the league maybe 2, 3, 4 years, and then at 24, 25, 26 years old, they're tossed back out into the world. Many of them are not prepared educationally to compete because they were pushed all through school and passed grade by grade because they could play football really well. It's a lot of these guys, and this is one thing people don't talk about as much, a lot of these guys actually have brain damage. So when you see, in fact, whenever I see an athlete do something that seems just crazy and outrageous, I wonder, where drugs, alcohol, and brain and mental illness are playing a part in all of this, because the drugs and alcohol kind of come from the culture, unfortunately, that pushes athletes to think that you got to run to the club and get drunk all the time, or the drugs come from, the fact that playing football, for example, means you have to stay doped up like a horse in order to just be healthy enough to play, and then the mental illness comes from the fact that you're hitting your head over and over again, so you're really destroying your brain in the process, and because people can't see it, they don't think it's there. Now, here's one thing I want to get to as well. In the NBA and NFL, most of these guys, here's another major wealth extraction. Now, I'm a finance professor. I've been teaching finance at the college level for over 20 years. So I know how money kind of works and how it operates. So this is an observation I wanted to share with you guys before I hit the road and drive up to Oakland. Look, most of these guys who go to the NFL and the NBA are not represented by other black people. Most of their agents, their lawyers, their managers, their financial managers, or their advisors are whites or Jews. Now, this is not anti-white, this is not anti-Jewish, this is pro-black. But what's unfortunate is that we live in a country that's built on white supremacy, so therefore being pro-black means you're anti-white supremacy. So there are lots of whites who will be offended by what I'm about to say. But I'm going to say it anyway because I love black people. Loving black people ain't got nothing to do with hating white people. Just because I tell you that we deserve our half of the cake, you can interpret that to mean I'm taking your part of the cake, but that's because you were born with some sort of sense of entitlement from the very beginning that made you think that you deserve the whole cake or 90% of the cake. So here's the thing. Most of these athletes, in my opinion, should fire They're white and Jewish agents, lawyers, and business managers, and hire African Americans. They should. There are plenty of qualified black people out here that have all kinds of knowledge about finance and money and everything else. I mean, I got a PhD in finance. I taught people who do stuff like that. I've taught financial experts. Now, I'm not saying I want people to hire me, but I'm saying that there are lots of other brothers and sisters out here who have the ability to do those things, who have the ability to represent you in an effective way, who have the ability to represent you in a culturally competent way. From what I understand, LeBron James has a lot of brothers around him, and from last time I checked, LeBron is doing quite well. Now, here's some reasons why I think you want to get rid of your white or your Jewish agent. Number one, they typically care nothing about you. They're going to use you up, spit you out, send your black butt back to the hood. And as E40 used to say in a song, they'll find a new nigga next year. So basically they're recycling black people. And you're there, they're there to make money off you. And that's it. They would not be there if it were not for the money. If you were not making money for them, they would not be working with you. They would not be your friend. They would not be in your hood. They would not be in your house. They would not be sitting there drinking coffee with your mama. They wouldn't be doing none of that if you weren't making money for them. So these people do not care anything about you. And there's a consistent pattern where wealthy whites really care nothing about black people or the state of African Americans as a collective. They might care about that one Negro who's running and jumping and making them money, but they don't care about the collective of the community. I work with black people because I know that I work with black people who are here not just because of the money. They're here because we're helping the community. There's a big difference. That's why I love working with my own people. Number two, I think your people are ready to serve you. I think that anybody who will try to convince you that there are no qualified black people who can do certain jobs, play certain roles as agents, attorneys, and all that, you're lying. You're wrong. There are black people who went to the best schools in the world who know so much more about how to monetize an athletic brand than a lot of these other guys who don't know your community. They don't know where you come from. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you value. They don't link to your value systems. When you tell them Black Lives Matter, they might clap and agree just because they want your money, but they don't really understand why it matters. They don't understand what black people go through. They don't know our experience. They do not know our struggle. And black people, as we're awakening, as the consciousness is kind of elevating itself, it's time for us to elevate our consciousness when it comes to where we're putting our money. Because our money is our greatest form of defense. It's the greatest weapon used against us. So when we're giving all our money away, it's like showing up to a battle and handing the enemy all your guns and all your bullets so they can blow your brains out and kill your mama at the same time. That's what's happening when we're giving all our money away. That goes to my next point. Here's the interesting thing. Many of these white folks, who will gladly serve as your agent and expect you to hire them as your manager, lawyer, whatever, they wouldn't hire you in a million years. They wouldn't hire your black ass in a million years. If the situation were reversed and they were the athlete and you were black, you were African American, saying, I would like to represent you. I think I can get you the best deals and I think I can do this. Do you really think they would hire your black ass in a minute? Or do you think that the Jewish attorney is going to hire another Jew to represent him? Do you think that Jewish manager is going to hire another Jew? And I'm going to tell you the answer is usually yes. It's not anti-Semitic. It's not anti-Jew. It's the fact that Jews got more sense than we do. They help each other. They take care of each other. They hire their own. That's a tenet of their community. They understand that the essence of their survival, the way they can avoid their Holocaust occurring again, is to own things and to control the flow of money in their community. So when they say never forget and all this other stuff about the Holocaust, we need to be saying never forget about our Holocaust. Our Holocaust was slavery. Their Holocaust was 6 years with Nazi Germany. It was terrible, atrocious. Our Holocaust was 250 years of slavery, another 100 years of Jim Crow, and another 50 years of mass incarceration. Our Holocaust continues to this day. In order for us to fight back against this, we must replicate a lot of what the Jews are doing. You take care of your own, and don't be ashamed of that. Don't be ashamed of loving black people and let people think, you're being racist because you want to. No. Preferential treatment is okay. It is okay because that's how global economic warfare is conducted in the society. It's all built on what you would call economic protectionism. That is protecting your own. Everybody protects their own. And if you don't believe me, take your black ass out to Chinatown and set up a business and see how quickly you go bankrupt because nobody will buy from you. Or go start a company and go try to sell to white people and see how many white people won't do business with you. But look at you as a black man. They set up any kind of business, we'll buy from them like that because we want to love everybody and it's wrong to be. No, it's not. You got to take care of your own, period. Look, my general point is very, very simple. If you're talking about who you work with on a day-to-day basis, it's got to go beyond just the money. part of the reason that I like to work with other African Americans is because I know that we're in it. Most of us, the people I work with, we're in it for the same reasons. We're in it because we understand a double and triple bottom line. We're not going to engage in coonery just to make an extra dollar. We're not going to hurt our people just to make an extra dollar. We're all in it because we care about the community more than we just care about money. So if you're an athlete and you care about your community as much as you care about your money, then I encourage you to at least do a clear due diligence and try your best to find African Americans who can fulfill every single role in your organization. If you need help, send me an email. I'm at boyce@boycewatkins.com. Or you can email one of my captains, Andre at financialjuneteenth.com. That's Andre at financialjuneteenth.com. Tell them that you're looking for an African American to represent you either as an agent or as an attorney or as a financial manager, and we will put a call out on our Facebook page. And I guarantee you that the minute I put out that call, you're going to have hundreds of people, at least dozens, probably hundreds of people, very, very qualified sisters and brothers that went to the best universities, have the best skill, that are ready to fulfill your need and ready to have your back. That's what you want around you. You don't want people around you who are there to scavenge you, who are there to eat the pieces off of you and then throw your dead carcass back into the same neighborhood that you came from. A lot of these brothers are going with these other managers and they're walking away broke. And guess what? These managers ain't going broke. They're taking care of their kids. Their kids are going to Harvard and Yale. Their families are living in the suburbs in big houses. Their kids are going to private school. They'll never have a story about a Jewish attorney or a Jewish manager who goes off and represents athletes and somehow he gets swindled and ends up in the projects. That doesn't happen to them. It happens to you. Why? Because black men, you're not prepared for global economic warfare. And I know that this message may come off weird to some people. Some people ain't gonna get it. Some people are gonna say, "Oh, you sound racist." No. Loving black people does not mean that I hate white people. But unfortunately, white supremacy is predicated on the idea that black people accept a subordinate status to white people, which therefore means that if I support the elevation of black people, I'm somehow assaulting the perceived power of white people or the entitlement of white people. Do you understand? If you've taken everything and you've given me nothing, and I say, look, I deserve half, then in your mind, you're going to think that I'm attacking you because I'm taking something you think belongs to you. And I'm not doing that. I'm simply fighting for what's mine. So fight for what's yours. Black male athletes are the most powerful group of people in the world. They are the wealthiest group, among the wealthiest group of people in the world. So that power needs to be harnessed, and you need to harness it to help your mama, help the people you care about. Stop taking care of other people before you take care of yourself. That's crazy. So let's put the coonery to an end. Let's be smart. Let's make it work. Let's do this. We can do this. All right, guys, I'm about to get out of here. By the way, like I said, I'm in LA right now, and we're still on tour. So if you want to know what cities we're going to be in, go to the drboycewatkinstour.com. That's the drboycewatkinstour.com. Also, if you want to learn how to start a business, you can visit theblackbusinessschool.com. That's theblackbusinessschool.com. You can join for free. Classes are affordable, but also we have free stuff too. So join us and let's make this happen. We're in the middle of a black economic revolution. Let's not forget this. Our great-great-grandchildren will talk about what we did during this generation. So I'm not going to stop, and neither should you. Talk to you soon. Love you. Peace.